Can you feel the power? Yes. Welcome back, my little freakazoids. This is your host, Pat Flynn, and give me 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes of your time. I promise this is going to be worth it, because on today's podcast, I'm going to outline the Bare Flynnimum, the only fitness program you ever need, probably, or for the most part. It's definitely the fitness plan that you, my friends, have been looking for. So recently on Instagram, I've been getting a lot of questions, good questions, but they're all answered the same way. The different things that people are looking for fitness-wise, to be good minimalists and generalists. They don't want to be the best in the world, not trying to be a pro bodybuilder or powerlifter, just want to be generally strong, fit, well-muscled, lean, mobile, powerful, flexible. So many of those qualities can be achieved using just one simple program, one simple framework, and one simple approach to nutrition. And I want to give it to you here and now on this episode. And I'm going to actually take you through a recent article that I have produced. It's been a while since I've written a legit fitness article. I do tons of fitness writing, mostly on the email list, and I'm actually writing another book. It's been a while since I've done an article. So it's over on my Substack. I'm going to pull it up here so you guys can see it and follow along. If you're just listening, I'll put the links in the show notes. And my Substack is mostly a philosophy Substack, but this is a fitness post, and it's called The Fitness Plan You've Been Looking For. So I'm going to talk you through this. I'm going to give you the full program. It's 8 weeks long, super minimalist. You're going to love it. So stick with me, take notes, write this down, copy the link to the Substack so you have this. There's no catch here. I'm just going to give you a full, awesome, generalist strength, muscle, and conditioning program that I promise if you do it, you're going to get awesome results with. So be sure to subscribe. Please hit that like button, share with both of your friends, and let's begin. So there's a good amount we have to work through, and I just want to dive right in. So I'm going to just kind of scroll through this post, and I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'm just going to give you the sort of highlights. By the way, here's a recent pic that sort of prompted this post. Somebody said, I posted this on Instagram, and somebody said, my pecs were looking sufficiently plump, and asked, how can you build that sort of muscle? How can you do that? And look, I'm not a bodybuilder or anything like that. I've got a good amount of lean muscle on me. I don't take any drugs. I do a bit of fish oil. I eat lots of protein, and I try to lift as heavy as I can. So realistically, can you get a sort of, the physique that I like is always the sort of Bruce Lee-like physique, that sort of more chiseled, lean, dense, wiry physique. It's far more realistic for most people. But to my mind, also a lot more, appealing than that gigantic. I mean, it's cool. It's cool if you're into just be as huge as possible. That's cool, but that's not the game we play. And that's not what this program is for. This is a generalist program. It's going to make you look good. You're going to perform well, and it's not going to run you completely into the ground. So let's go. All right. So I'm calling it the Bare Flynnimum because I couldn't help myself. And actually, Alex Salkin gets total credit for that. He's always coming up with puns on my last name. So he said he wanted me to make sure that you know that this is your Flynnsurance policy against weakness and all that sort of thing. So the post just begins by saying, hey, just do this. And I'm going to reiterate, do this for 8 weeks before you start wanting to tweak anything or add anything. Just do it as is, written out for 8 weeks. I promise you, awesome results if you do this. And then we can talk about ways to modify it. But one of the biggest issues people have when it comes to fitness is just not doing the damn program. Do the damn program. Do it as is, as it is written, for as long as you are supposed to do it for, before you start messing with anything. Just do it as is, okay? Just make that commitment. Let's make that deal up front that you're going to just do it as is. I give a little bit of background, my own background. We're going to skip that. Yes, I grew up a fat kid. I've done many different programs, but for me, it always comes back to the basics. What are those basics? We're going to get to specifics here in a minute, but I tried to summarize pretty much as I could about fitness into a single paragraph. These are the principles I want you to commit to memory, and they're the principles that are informing this program if you want to be generally strong and fit and healthy in the long term. You need to walk every day. You need to stretch and mobilize every day. You need to resistance train 2 to 4 times per week. And you need to work close to failure with the big compound lifts. You need to get sweaty and out of breath 1 to 2 times per week using sprints or complexes or martial arts or playing sports or anything like that. You shouldn't do drugs. These kids and their marijuana, I'll tell you. You should definitely limit alcohol. I almost don't drink at all. And you should avoid the standard American diet. You should eat foods that are close to nature, minimally processed, consume adequate protein. For me, I think a good target is 1 gram per pound of target body weight per day. So whatever you want to weigh, that's how much you should consume in grams of protein per day. Get to bed at a reasonable hour, sleep in a cool, dark room, try intermittent fasting or calorie or carb cycling. Some sort of cyclicality is really good for caloric control and making sure you stay lean and healthy without going psychologically or physiologically off the rails. Have ways to manage your stress that don't involve fattening yourself, like martial arts, musical instruments. Have some other interesting and active hobbies. That to me is the summary of the basic principles you need to have in place. Now we're going to get to specifics, but again, I cannot emphasize how important these principles are. All right, let's talk about the Bare Flynnimum now. We're going to get into the programming. This is to be performed 2 to 3 times per week. At least the primary lifting routine should be 2 to 3 times per week. If you're a beginner, 2 times per week. Start there. If you're more advanced, a bit of a lifting veteran, 3 times per week. And within the Bare Flynnimum, you have a primary lifting routine, a conditioning element, and then a little something for the abs, a little bonus direct core work. As you know, I'm a fan of that. I think it actually is quite useful. Now, the conditioning can be performed either immediately after the lifting session, or you can perform it separately, including on separate days. It really doesn't matter that much. Now, conditioning, just to make it simple, you can do this. Just grab a kettlebell complex from my YouTube channel. As you know, every Wednesday we put up my kettlebell workout of the week. That would seriously be perfect. You could just do my kettlebell workout of the week every Wednesday, and then there's one conditioning routine there. Another day, you could do sprints or interval running. Just run up a hill, sprint up a hill 6 times. That's good. Don't complicate it. Just run really fast, get really tired, walk back down, run really fast, get really tired, walk back down. Do that like 4 to 6 times. Great. Or you could do interval running, sprint for a couple seconds, walk for 2 minutes, jog for 2 minutes, repeat for 15 to 20, maybe up to 30 minutes. Awesome. Between complexes and sprints or interval running, that's the easiest way to cover your conditioning bases. But if you're doing something else, like if you're doing a martial art or a sport or something like that, that can be your conditioning. You don't have to do additional conditioning. If you're doing like a lot of BJJ or something like that, you really don't need to do additional conditioning. So there's a range of options there. And remember, when it comes to conditioning, variety is actually quite beneficial for conditioning. When it comes to strength and muscle, you want more consistency. Consistency for strength and muscle, a little bit more variety for conditioning. All right, final thing in terms of structure is a daily walk. I want you to try to get outside, preferably. If you have to do it inside, that's fine on a treadmill, but preferably outside, 20 to 60-minute brisk walk. Do it whenever you can. Morning, night, post-workout, doesn't matter. Just try and get that daily walk in. All right, getting more specific now, exercise selection. So in the program to follow, you will see that the movements are listed as categories. We have squat, we have push, we have pull, and I'm going to kind of let you fill in what specific exercise you want from the following list. Now, within this list, I really don't care what you pick. Pick what you like, pick what is convenient, pick what matches your equipment. It doesn't matter so much what you pick, just that you're consistent with what you pick. I want you, whatever you pick, you're going to stick with these lifts for the entire 8 weeks before you mix it up. Okay, so let's go through the options quickly. For squat, I give you 3 options. You can do front squat, you can do back squat, or you can do Bulgarian split squat. For press, I give you the following options. You can do barbell bench, you can do dumbbell presses, flat, incline, or you can do military presses, kettlebell military presses, or you can do dips. Those are all great options for pressing. For pulling, you can do pull-ups, palms out, chin-ups, palms towards you. You could also do neutral grip. You can do lat pull-downs, or you can do bent over rows. That's for the pull category. For hinge, you can do deadlifts, obviously, or trap bar deadlifts. I'm one of those people that actually doesn't hate the trap bar. I think it's just fine. Or you could do single leg deadlift. Single leg would be my least favorite option there, but I think it's still fine if that's what you prefer. I would honestly just go with the deadlift for hinge. And then there's a curl category, and here you could do preacher curls, concentration curls, hammer curls, or cable curls. Honestly, I'm not that particular about curl variations. Pick whatever freaking curl that you want. All right. It's just not, the curl's the least important, but it's in there. Sun's out, guns out, baby. All right, here's the routine. Now we're getting into details. I think we're actually going to keep this episode 20 minutes. And again, this is all written out on the Substack. So if you just want my face to just be shut up, you can just go to the Substack and read it. But I'm going to give you a little more detail as I explain what's going on. Importantly, the actual program, the exercise ordering, and the lifts are the same throughout the 8 weeks. What changes is really just the amount of volume. Right. And sets and reps. That's what's going to kind of be fluctuating. So let me just talk through it very quickly. Weeks 1 and 2 are as follows. You're going to start with squats. By the way, everything is 3 sets of 10 reps. For weeks 1 and 2, everything is 3 sets of 10 reps in the following order: squat, press, push-ups. So the push-ups, the extra there. Everyone does push-ups, and that's 2 sets of max reps. All right. So you're going to do squats, 3 sets of 10 reps, press, 3 sets of 10, push-up, 2 sets, max reps. Hinge 3x10, pull 3x10, curl 3x10. And like I said, do the exercises in that order. Now, here is a really, really important note, and this is going to carry over for all week, so pay attention to this. For intensity and weight, you need to work close to technical failure for all sets. What does that mean? Close means within 2 to 3 reps, and technical failure means the point where technique begins to fail. Now, what does that mean? Well, whenever you say you're pressing, right? If you notice a very significant drop in rep speed, or that your movement pattern starts becoming significantly distorted, say your elbows start really flaring out, or if you're squatting, you start doing that weird sort of disjointed Elvis-y hip motion, and there's compensations going on, that's technical failure, okay? Absolute failure is just the weight doesn't move at all anymore, period. Now, for some exercises, technical and absolute failure converge almost exactly. So like for curls, if you're doing very strict, concentration curls, technical failure and absolute failure, pretty much the same thing. But for other movements, especially the bigger compound movements, you'll often hit a point of technical failure before absolute failure because you'll begin to compensate to still get the weight up. You don't want to do that. So what I want is for you to be working within 2 to 3 reps of technical failure. So for weeks 1 and 2, since it's all 3 sets by 10 reps, that means you're going to use a weight that you should be able to do no more than 12 reps with until you hit technical failure. Let me say that again. You should be using a weight that you can do no more than 12 reps with before you hit technical failure. And I cannot emphasize this enough. If you're not using the right intensity, if you're not really pushing yourself and like right up to that point of technical failure, I'm not going to say you're not going to get any results, but it's just not going to be as good. It's not going to be as efficient. It's not going to be as effective. So you really have to hit the right intensity. Okay. Conditioning, we've already talked about that, but for this post, I just give you a quick complex idea. So if you want something easy, I link a kettlebell complex of mine that I think would work well for this week. So you can check that out. Then for the abs, you can kind of fit that in after your primary lifting session, or after your conditioning. Again, it doesn't matter so much when you do this stuff, just that you do it. That you do it is more important than when you do it. I'm recommending ab wheel and hollow holds or planks. So ab wheel, I would say do 2 sets of 5 to 10 reps, and then you can pick between hollow hold or plank, 2 sets by 30 seconds. Nothing crazy, but definitely effective. Okay. You know, I love ab wheels, hollow holds, and planks. Okay. Excuse me. I have to cough. Weeks 3 and 4, same general structure, but now we're doing 3 sets of 12 reps. So everything is the same, but for weeks 3 and 4, we've just bumped everything up 2 reps. So 3 sets by 12 reps. We still have the push-ups in there of 2 sets at max reps, but everything else is 3 sets by 12 reps, squat, press, hinge, pull, curl. Intensity is the same, as in you're still going to be working within 2 to 3 reps of technical failure. But since we're at 12 reps, that's as much weight as you could do no more than, say, 15 reps with until your technique gets sloppy, noticeably, qualitatively diminished, something like that, right? And then I give another complex. There's me with my beard and yellow kettlebell telling you what to do. Abs for weeks 3 and 4. Again, a little adjustment in what's prescribed. Ab wheel, 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps, hollow hold or plank. Choose one of those, 3 sets by 40 seconds. That's not easy, guys. A hollow hold, a serious hollow hold for even 20 seconds is tough. 40 seconds is really, really hitting it. If that's not tough for you, you're doing it wrong. You're just doing the hollow hold wrong. There's no other way to explain it. Hollow holds done right are very tough. All right, which means abs are braced, rib cage is tucked. You're kind of pressing your low back hard into the ground. Your butt and shoulders are lifted. You're like a banana. All right, week 5. Here we go. Same thing, except 4 sets of 10 reps across the board. 4 sets of 10 reps across the board, except one little exception, curls are 3 sets by 10 reps. A little bit of a tweak and adjustment there. 4 sets of 10 reps for squat, press, hinge, and pull. Still have the 2 sets of max reps of push-ups. Curl, 3 sets by 10 reps. Just a little volume management there because the biceps are already getting hit. Will be getting hit pretty significantly with the pulls. Okay. Again, 2 to 3 reps of technical failure, as it always relates to the rep range. So now, again, a weight that you should be able to perform no more than 12 reps with across those exercises. All right, then I give you another conditioning idea. Again, you can pull from random at my YouTube channel or just use what I give you. Abs, 3 sets by 5 to 10 reps on the ab wheel. And now 3 sets by 40 to 60 seconds on the hollow hold. So if you can push it longer than 40 seconds, please do so. If you're kind of just still at 40 seconds, that's fine. All right, week 6, this is important. It's a deload. So week 6 is your first deload. And the way the deload works, the Pat Flynn style deload is very simple. It's the same as week 1. So you go back to week 1, but you just half the total volume. You take the total volume, amount of work performed, and you just cut it in half. So that's just half all the sets. Half all the sets. If some number, as a general rule for deloading, if a number is odd, you round down. All right, and no conditioning and no abs this week. Now, importantly, for a deload, you want to keep intensity the same. You want to keep the weight and the intensity the same. We're just, reducing the volume. That's it. Go back to week 1, half the volume, keep intensity the same, no conditioning, no abs. All right, we're almost done, guys. Week 7 and 8. Here we go. All right, now we're kind of pushing it back up again. Now we're at 4 sets of 12 reps across the board. 4 sets of squat by 12 reps. 4 by 12 on press. Again, push-up. The push-up prescription stays the same pretty much throughout the whole program. 2 sets of max reps. It always comes after the press. Hinge, 4 by 12. Pull, 4 by 12. And then curl, again, little different, 3 by 12. Intensity within 2 to 3 reps of technical failure. I give you a conditioning idea. And then we have the abs, ab wheel, 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps. And now hollow hold or plank, we're trying to move up to a full minute. 3 sets by 60 seconds. My friends, that is it. That is the Bare Flynnimum. Direct, to the point, no nonsense. Definitely effective. Deadly effective, I may say. I wanted to keep this episode to about 20 minutes. I'm probably going to keep that promise. There's a few questions that are common. And I want to anticipate those now. So let me just do a quick fire Q&A or FAQ or whatever you want to call it. So question 1, I'm a beginner. This seems like a lot. What if this is too much? If you're a beginner, 2 ways you can modify. First is you should be doing it twice a week instead of 3 times a week. Do not do this 3 times a week if you're a beginner. Twice a week is plenty. Alternatively, or additionally, you could just bring every lift down a set. So instead of 3 sets, perform 2, just reduce every week by 1 set. Those are 2 easy modifications if you're a total beginner, or if you just feel like recovery isn't keeping up. Those are good modifications. Okay, what if I don't have kettlebells to do the conditioning with? That's fine. You can use a dumbbell for a lot of the complexes. It's not as slick and convenient, but it gets the job done. But you don't need kettlebells. You can do sprints. You can do interval running. You can do sports. They're not essential. I love kettlebells, but they're not necessary for this. Here's the next question. Can I follow this for longer than 8 weeks? Yes, you can. If you want to do the Bare Flynnimum for longer than 8 weeks, do another deload after week 8, just like same style as week 6, then start again. But when you start again, you can pick different lifts. So you could do front squats instead of back squats, the second time through, or you can try and do it with more weight, or both. So those are ways to keep going, but also make it a little bit different. All right. How often should I mix the exercises up? You should not mix the exercises up until you've done the entire 8 weeks. If you want to keep going after the 8 weeks, then you can fill in different exercises. What about a warm-up? I link to a warm-up video that I think you will find helpful and is very minimalist. I like just some basic rocking, crawling, jump rope, quadruped, T-spine rotations, a little bit of foam rolling, and then just honestly a few light sets of whatever is on the menu that day. That should be your warm-up. All right. Is there an eating plan? Last point, nutrition. All right. Here's what I would say for nutrition. Following the general guidelines above, not eating like a toddler, have your protein and veggies and berries and water. If you want to focus more on gaining strength and muscle, then aim for a 300 to 500 daily calorie surplus. If you want to focus more on fat loss and body recomposition, then aim for a 10 to 20% daily reduction from caloric maintenance. And I link a calculator in the post. But here's the deal. For fat loss, I want you to hit that reduction for 5 consecutive days. So, say Monday through Friday, you're at a 10 to 20% calorie reduction from maintenance, but then 2 consecutive refeed days where you're back at maintenance. So it's a 5-2 split, 5 days of caloric reduction, 10 to 20%, and 2 days of back to maintenance. The cyclicality is really helpful psychologically and physiologically. That's it, my friends. So you can adjust your nutrition to either focus more on strength and muscle or fat loss, depending on what you see fit. So there you go, guys. I went a little over 20 minutes, but I hope this was action-packed and really helpful for you. I do promise if you follow this routine and you really push the intensity, you get it done, you work hard, you bust your little behind in the gym, you're going to be very impressed with what you get from this sort of program. This is a fundamentals program. And if you do this, you don't need all the gimmicky BS you see online from the liver guru. Step aside Liver King. Fliver King is here now. I've taken over. I'm the new champion of the internet. Drug-free champion. Always lifelong drug-free, if you couldn't tell. Champion of the internet. Trying to give you guys straightforward, no BS practical fitness advice. If you like this, do me a favor. Hit subscribe. Let's promote fitness sanity, fitness common sense. Hit subscribe. Please share. Please leave your thoughts and comments. If you have other questions, I welcome them. I'll try to answer as many as I can in the comments. And I, of course, will link the Substack so you can have it all written out. You can print it out. You can put it on your refrigerator and put some stickers on it. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next video.